to the Postmodern Art Podcast, the podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve. I'm your host, Nathan Ragland, and for today's episode, I have a fantastic guest that I feel like with the art that they are producing and the stuff they're doing out there, well, it helps make everyone fit in a little better. Today's guest is Bibi, a cosplayer and merch maker creating fun, fashionable, and functional clothing and pins that's fit for anyone. Bibi is someone that I've gotten a chance to see on the internet, especially on Blue Sky and such, with just these cool, incredible pins. In fact, I was so gracious enough that another former guest of the podcast, Born, actually gifted me one of Bibi's pins once. You'll see in the middle of the podcast, trust me, it's a fun one that I got. But regardless, seeing the work that Bibi has put into making this stuff, I knew I had to get them on the podcast and really highlight just an incredible person going out there and creating just a really fun product that I truly think anyone should truly be looking into getting at some point. If you enjoy our guests, please make sure you support them with the links down in the description below. Trust me, their merch shop is going to be the first link in that description. I can promise you that. If you enjoy the podcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. Leave 5 stars wherever you can. You know, I see that stuff. You know, it genuinely warms my heart. If you want to go a little further with that support, may I recommend you check out our own merch shop at fourthwall.com. Link to that is in the description below. We have some outstanding merch as done by some amazing artists that have previously been on this podcast, including the brand new Pride variants of our amazing logo as done by Roshan Galaxy. And look, if all you want is a nice, cool, casual place where you can join in a fun, fantastic community and really be a part of something incredible, may I recommend you check out our Discord server, the Artist Sanctuary. The group we have been able to really grow, especially in the past couple months more than anything else, it has been really fun to see and really incredible to see how we were able to come together and help out other artists in this community as well. Plus, for those that are doing Art Fight right now, if you're looking for more profiles to attack or whatnot, we do have a dedicated Art Fight server in there, or Art Fight channel in there. So I recommend you check out that link in the description below to join that server today. But now, without further ado, please enjoy the Postmodern Art Podcast. How are you doing today?
I am good. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Now we're actually getting the chance to do this or whatnot. Ironically enough, I've been a big fan of your stuff, so it's really cool to get a chance to chat with you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I'll say.
How did you find it?
Sorry. No, I was gonna say, like, I found out about your stuff because I think I was on Throne of all places, and I think I saw, I saw like your pins as one of the ones that was like advertised or whatnot, and so I put it on my Throne, and someone was gracious enough to give me the classic fucks given.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I've seen like all the pins that you've been able to have or whatnot. It's like as funny as this one is, like some of the other ones that you have is really incredible. I'm glad you're taking the opportunity to do it more than anything else.
Oh, thank you. It's a lot of fun.
I imagine, more than anything else. Thank you so much for taking the opportunity to do this in the first place. Like I said, it's a real honor to have you on here.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for choosing me.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Again, like I said, just seeing like what you've been able to do, not just with the pins, but just all the merch that you're selling in general, as well as being a really cool cosplayer as well. Like, yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about that because there's a whole entire art form where it comes to that as well. All right.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to chat about it more than anything else.
I'm glad.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Bibi, before we really do get going, I must ask the icebreaker question of the podcast, if I may. Let's say you get to go to a deserted island on your own accord. It is just you alone with your thoughts. You get to kick back, relax, breathe, get to really enjoy yourself for a little bit. With accommodations. I shouldn't say deserted island, more like a personal B&B paradise away from society with all the accommodations and everything.
Yes.
To make sure you don't go completely insane on this island, you can bring one piece of media or one piece of art with you to help whoever kind of headspace you want on this island. If given this opportunity, what would that one piece be?
That's a hard question.
Hopefully, this is
Let's
the
see, what was
hardest
I doing?
question out of the entire podcast.
Yeah. Let's see, one piece of art or media. Like, can it be like a sketchbook?
Absolutely, it could be a sketchbook.
Yeah, I would totally bring a sketchbook so I could just like draw and create
Absolutely.
things.
I was gonna say,
That'd be fun.
is that like your go-to thing? Just having your sketchbook to, I guess, like just
Yeah.
sketch in general, or I guess plan out future ideas for stuff you could potentially be doing.
Yeah, I write things down all the time and I draw things out before I forget.
Okay, no, absolutely. I can look as someone that uses a million different things to make sure I don't forget something. A sketchbook, like I mean, like I said, I have my little notes or whatnot on a little
Yeah.
notepad to make sure I don't like forget anything about the artist that I'm bringing on this podcast. So yeah, I totally get
Yeah.
that. I can only imagine, especially with that mentality, how many sketchbooks you've gone through.
Yeah. I have a lot of paper all over my place. It's
There
a
you go.
mess.
Trees hate you. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I I, I, rec- I recycle.
Oh, there you go. Okay, okay, there you go. Trees give you respect. Trees give you a lot more respect now. But regardless, a sketchbook. That is your answer. You're locking that in.
Yes.
Then, if that's the case, I cannot think of a better way to start the Postmodern Art Podcast. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Nathan Ragland. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. You will look fantastic in the merch we have at the merch shop, fourthwall.com. Link to that is in the description below. And follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and most social media platforms at Postmod Art Pod for future updates and guest announcements, including today's guest. They are a cosplayer and merch maker, making fun, fashionable, and functional clothing and pins that fit for anyone. Welcome to the podcast, Bibi!
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Like I said, now that I'm getting the opportunity to sit down and chat with you, like I kind of said in the intro, well, I'll kind of emphasize here real quickly, I have been a fan of your stuff for a while, ever since I was lucky enough that a friend of mine gifted me the ever so eloquent fucks given pin, which they're currently full right now, because I give a lot of fucks about what you're doing, especially with the incredible merch that you're able to do. That again, it's not just only like cute and fun and fashionable, but it's actually very functional for a lot of people that are out there. And I love to dive in and talk about all different aspects of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But before we talk about that, I want to go back just a little bit, and I want to know more or less the origin story of BB. What got you interested in art in general in the first place?
So I've been a fan of anime since I was a little kid. So I've always
Oh,
been, yeah, yeah, I'm a nerd. So I would draw like Sailor Moon, Pokemons, and like since I was like a little kid,
okay.
you know.
Yeah.
I always want to be creative,
Mm-hmm.
you know. It was like my way of transporting myself into like a different world.
Interesting.
So by
I
dr-
totally
by
get that.
drawing things,
I, I
yeah,
I totally get that. Plus, I was gonna say, you, an anime nerd, as I look and see that your icon is very chibi-esque, as well as knowing that you're a cosplayer that has cosplayed as many anime characters. You, the anime nerd? No, I couldn't guess that.
right, like such a shock, right?
Absolute shock and horror. I know you kind of hinted at a couple of them, but like, what were some of those early animes, like especially growing up, that just grabbed your attention, and what'd you love about them?
Let's see. I really love Sailor Moon because I love magical girls.
Fair
Um,
enough.
I love the, I love the like the background, the aesthetics,
Hmm.
the storyline, the magical aspects. Just like there was so much to love. I also love Dragon Ball Z and then
There
Dragon
you go.
Ball. That was a lot of fun. Even when it dragged on and on.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a good handful of animes you could probably say that have dragged on and on for one form or another, but you know.
Well, for like the attack. I'm talking about the attack specifically.
Oh
It took like
yeah,
10 episodes
yeah,
for like an
yeah,
attack.
yeah. 3 episodes just to get like one, was it like a spirit ball or something like that, or
Yeah,
it's all sorts of different
yeah,
aspects. No, I totally get that. But I mean, even then, like just the art style of some of those animes alone, especially some of the cool elements that they were able to incorporate into it. I mean,
yeah,
you talked about Sailor Moon. Who did not love the classic magical girl transformation? I mean, come on.
yeah. It was like the best thing ever. It still is.
Absolutely. So, with that kind of early start and early love for it, when did it go from just like again that early love and thing that you loved and admired to a passion of wanting to make it your career? Like, when did you realize that art was a way for you to potentially like make a career out of?
For me, it was more of a hobby when
Okay.
I started out, because my family was against it very, very much so.
Right. Right.
They were like, I'm also really good at like sciences and stuff.
Okay.
So I've actually have a degree in computer science.
Right. I saw that
So
the about us part of your webpage or whatnot.
yeah,
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 no, it's really interesting, especially when you consider that again, like you were talking to someone that again is making incredible merch and stuff like that, and you have a degree in computer science. It's amazing how the path diverges.
yeah. It's interesting. It's actually not that different when you think about it,
Okay.
because computer science is about problem solving. You know, and
Mm.
like I like my business is problem solving issues. Like, okay, why aren't people using compression items as much? Oh, because
Right.
they're ugly. You know, like how can I make it better functionally and look nicer?
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's how it connects.
No, honestly, like just that little bit right there. Honestly, I could see how it's not too much of a diversion off the off the beaten path or whatnot. More than anything else, like I can
Yeah,
understand why it went from where it was to where it is. But like it's really cool that like it started off as a hobby for you. Like
yeah.
how exactly did it start off as just like a hobby? Like was this just something that you were just curious about, or just something that you just love to do just to kind of relax or whatnot? Like how did it go from hobby to this business that you have nowadays?
Yeah, so at first, like, I used to draw for fun, like when I was in university and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like draw all the time. It was a way for me to like de-stress and like, feel better. Because when you study all day, you need something to do to like
Yes,
de-stress, a hobby.
absolutely.
So it was my main hobby, and then eventually I got into cosplay, and then
Ooh,
cosplay was a way of like it was a way of like doing different things all in one. Because like to be a good cosplayer or like just to cosplay, you need to be able to draw,
yeah,
do makeup, uh, sew, build like I don't know like build things like props.
yeah,
Um, you need to be able to do so much modeling, digital art, like different things.
yeah. There's a
Like
lot there's a lot more that goes into cosplay than just take a random costume, splash it on, and then walk around a convention center.
yeah, like sewing, knowing like you could do that, but like some people want to know more,
Right.
like because I'm one of those people like I want to know everything.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
oh I want to master it all. I'm like okay I want to learn about makeup. I want to learn how to model properly. I want to learn photography, the camera angles and like editing. I want to learn how to sew, use the right fabric and the right understanding fabric,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and understanding the best way to store something, to understanding how to work with different body types. Because I'm not thin, and I'm a bit bigger, so I
Okay.
need to learn how to like create things that fit my body
Right.
properly. So it's never that simple. So
Absolutely.
like I delve right in, and all the skills I learned from cosplay, I was able to transfer it to my business, like all my
Absolutely.
construction skills from like sewing.
That's really interesting. I'm curious as well. Like cosplay became like a very big hobby for you. How did you even first discover that cosplay was even a thing in the first place, and what made you truly want to dive into it?
So I learned about cosplay in university.
Okay.
So I was part of the anime club, and a lot of people were going to like cons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I started going to cons. I think actually in junior high.
Okay.
So I've been going to convention sales in junior high, but then I didn't really understand cosplay or like got into it to university.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I had more freedom from my family. so, so I was just like, oh, this is really cool. Let me try this out because my friends were doing it at the time.
Okay.
So I got interested in it too. Then I fell in love with it pretty quickly.
I could tell, considering the fact that at this point you've done several different cosplays for several different conventions and whatnot, and just instances, and just see some of the designs that you've been able to come up with, and some of the fits that you've been able to come up with yourself. Like I am truly
Yeah,
amazed with the amount of time and dedication you've been able to put into something like that more than anything else.
yeah.
Um,
Honestly, honestly, it was an escape for me
mm-hmm.
because, as you know, I'm disabled,
Right.
so I have a lot of health issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always in pain throughout my entire life. But I found when I'm drawing or cosplaying or working on something creative, the
Right.
pain lessens. So
Okay.
that's yeah. So like so it's good to have things like hobbies and stuff for me to like keep myself busy.
Right. Right. No,
Yeah,
honestly,
so like
that's really great to hear more than anything else. That this is not just an escape for you, like mentally, like just to get away from the average thing of life or whatnot. But it was actually kind of an escape for you to think less about the struggle and the pain that you have to deal with.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. At the time I didn't realize that it's not normal to be in pain all the time.
Yeah.
Because doctors keep telling me like, oh yeah, it's all in your head, and I believed them at some point until it got too bad. Until my health got worse enough for
Right.
me to like, I couldn't ignore it anymore.
Yeah, when everyone kind of tells you the same thing, you kind of believe it after a while, even if it's not the truth.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
Yeah, and I hate that it got to a point to where like the pain got too intense before you learned. Oh wait, no, there's actually something messed up with you. We need to get that figured out before it's a little
Yeah,
too late. Um, but I mean, at least you got to that conclusion at some point instead of it being a little too late. You know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I found out the hard way. I
Yeah.
literally collapsed at work one day.
Oh,
I was
that's
taken
not
by an
good.
ambulance. I'm
Oh,
taken for an ambulance, and I had to do 3 months of chemotherapy and then have surgery.
I am
It
so
was not
sorry to hear.
fun.
I am so sorry
That's
to
one
hear
of the,
that.
yeah, that's one of the biggest wake up call for me because I was like, hey, wait a second. It wasn't. I was like, hey, maybe I'm not okay. Maybe I'm disabled. You know,
Yeah.
maybe I have some underlying health issues that I should probably address.
And the fact that you're able to still to get from that and to bounce back for the most part and still do kind of the stuff that you love, especially when it comes to the cosplays more than anything else, and like you kind of,
Yeah,
and especially with like you illustrated with it being kind of an escape, I can easily see how that's kind of the case, especially with again how much time you dedicate to all the different aspects and like I said,
yeah.
the sewing, the makeup, etc., etc. What's the process like for you, at least mentally, when it comes to getting a cosplay set up? Like, how do you go from, oh, this would be something cute to do, to finished final outfit that you flaunt out to the world?
For me, like I have to decide on the character first. So I
Right.
usually try to find characters that inspire me, that I like.
Hmm.
Like they have to, like for me after my surgery, I chose a character that truly inspired me at the time. So I chose to cosplay Tifa from Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, she's badass. I like her.
Oh yeah.
You know. Yeah. I know she has lots of fans, but like so like for my process, first thing I do is that I sketch out the design, you know, and
Hmm.
then I sketch out like what kind of material I would need. I write it down. I make a list of things I need, like I do measurements of my body.
Okay.
I make sure so I know how much fabric to buy. Um, I figure out like what kind of tools I need. Do I need a wig? Do I need shoes? Like all the accessories, I break it down
Hmm.
into like smaller details. Cause like if you look at it all at once, it's overwhelming.
Right.
But if you break it down to small pieces, okay, the wig is one thing. I can work on this tomorrow. Then I can work on this next week. Like if you break it down to small parts,
Yeah.
it's manageable.
Break it down, set up a plan, and see it like section by section instead of looking at the thing as a whole.
Yeah,
Differentiate the forest from the trees.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's funny enough because I use a lot of the skills I learned as a software developer, so in like other, like in cosplay and creative stuff,
Oh wow.
because I used to do okay. So I was an official manager, like a team lead almost,
Okay.
at my job. So I would manage my team. So I had to learn to like work with people and break things down.
Hmm.
So for example, they'll say, "Hey, you need to create this app or just create this thing for us." So I'll take that thing, that idea, I'll do research, you know, or talk to someone else that knows more than I do
Hmm.
about the thing. So yeah, so I had to learn to like work with people and like coordinate. Cause like even in cosplay, I don't always work on things alone.
Right.
I might message someone and ask like, hey, how do you do this? Or I might watch a tutorial on YouTube. I might, like there's so many ways to get like information now.
Yeah, no, especially in today's days, it's so easy, especially if you're stumped on something, to just look online and see if someone else has been able to do it, and if not, at least build from it and like see how someone else may have done something similar. So like,
Yeah,
yeah, especially when it comes to cosplay, like sometimes there are people that have done characters that have done a character a certain way, or there might be one that's like a brand new character and you haven't had a chance to see how exactly someone's been able to establish it or whatnot. Like
yeah,
the possibilities are endless when it comes to the world, and especially when it comes to cosplay, bringing that creativity out.
Yeah.
especially some of the amazing stuff. Like I said, Tifa is definitely a good one. I remember seeing obviously the Magical Girl one more than anything else, and I think you know Sailor Moon or yeah that you rocked that one. You
Oh,
nailed
thank
it
you.
to a T more than anything else. Um,
Thank you.
I can only imagine the amount of hours that kind of went into that, trying to make sure that you get the outfit right, the hair kind of right or whatnot, you know, all the different
Yeah.
accessories and such.
Yeah. Exactly. Like the earrings and stuff, the tiara.
Hmm.
Like I that cosplay I bought it. Sometimes I buy cosplays because it saves me time.
Right.
So that's what's an option. Even when you buy it, you still need to be able to style it properly
Okay.
and choose one that fits you properly too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No. It's
And choosing the right material too.
yeah. No. Sometimes there is the comical one of having something that's a little too tight, but that shouldn't be every single cosplay that you wear. You know.
Exactly.
And also finding a good was it line between comedic and comfort, because you can have that funny stuff, but it doesn't mean it has to be a stretch on you and it could be horrible for you to wear.
Yeah, I still want to be comfortable, right? You need to have it fit you.
Exactly. It does lead me to wonder, because you've done plenty of cosplays up to this point. You've had several opportunities to flaunt what you got. You've got to have a personal favorite, whether it be like how long it took you to prep it and to finally unleash it, or just the fact that like, hey, I got the chance to cosplay as this. Like, what's been your favorite cosplay so far?
Ooh, my favorite is Yuna
You
from
know?
Final Fantasy
Okay.
X.
Yes.
I've
Okay.
cosplayed her. I've cosplayed her so many times.
I
People
would.
are like, no, they know me for that cosplay because I'm like, and also my second favorite is Wonder Woman,
Yes.
the version I made for myself.
Yes. Oh my god. I mean, look, anytime you can get someone that is willing to comfort like confidently go out as Wonder Woman, you have my respect at the end of the day. Like
Yeah.
cuz especially considering the fact that for some people there's not really a whole lot to go off of. But no, I like legitimately though, like especially those two cosplays, like yeah, no, those are absolutely fantastic. Especially I can only imagine the amount of time it took to make it to where like you said, like it worked for you. It fit for you more than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really incredible. And on top of all this cosplay stuff, you also have a full on business when it comes to the
Yeah.
fantastically named BB's bin or not bins,
Pins.
BB's pins. I'm, I'm sorry. That was a bit
It's
of
all
a
good.
no. Imagine if there was like a BB's bins and it's like stylized trash cans or something like that.
Oh my god.
That should be like the secondary business. Like you know, if you want
Yeah.
to get like a little bit extra money, just get like stylized trash bins for like office supplies or whatnot, like bedazzled or bejeweled and all that stuff. But no, you're the person behind BB's pins more than anything else. Now, you kind of hinted at it a little earlier on, especially when it comes to like the art stuff, that this initially started off as a hobby. So what was the ultimate catalyst for BB's pins? How did this go from hobby to full on business?
So okay, so it's one of those situations when something bad happened, and I
Mm-hmm.
turned something good.
Okay.
So my health. So after I like recovered from my surgery, the chemo and the surgery, I went back to work. You know,
Right.
and I realized, and I switched companies.
Okay.
And then it was a medical software company. Ironically, I got fired because of my health issues.
That sorry, no, timeout. Like we gotta pause on that. You mean to tell me that for your own medical issues, you got fired from a medical software facility? If that has got to be
Yeah,
some like several layers of irony that I don't think we have enough time to dissect into how ironic that is.
it is. It is. Yeah, I was. I thought they'd be more understanding of my disabilities,
Right.
but I was wrong.
Sometimes
So
corporations have a different mentality, you know?
they do, yeah. So anyway, so after that happened, I was like, you know what? Let me take some time off from
Hmm.
working, and because I had savings, thankfully, and I was like, let me spend some time trying to figure out what's going on with my health,
Yeah.
you know. And then during that time, I learned, hey, you have fibromyalgia, you have all these health issues, like a
Okay.
long list, like 10 plus issues,
Oh,
and I
wow.
was like, okay, yeah, it was a lot. Because at first they were like, for years they were like, oh, you're fine. Oh, the surgery should have fixed you. I'm like, the surgery did not fix me. I still have other issues. The surgery saved my life, but it did not
Yes.
fix me. Um, but then at one point I was trying to apply for disability benefits because I was like, because I could not work anymore.
Right.
I was too sick to make it through job interviews. That's
Hmm.
how bad I was at the time. Like I would be in an interview and I just start sweating and like overheating. I'm about to pass out. And I
Right.
was just like, okay, I was like, okay, there's no way I can go back to work in this condition as a typical job.
The
And
fact that
then
I say the fact that it took up to this point, especially for something like that, like overheating or whatnot, in certain scenarios or whatnot, like again, I guess it kind of goes back to people just constantly telling you, "Oh, you're fine. Oh, you'll be okay. You'll just tough it out. You'll be fine." And yeah,
yeah,
no, it's insane.
it is. Like at that point, I did the smart decision to be like, hey, let me look into my health and see if
Hmm.
there's any programs, any specials I can see to like manage my health issues.
Right.
And so, so I applied for disability benefits. That took like 2 years, by the way. That was so
Oh
long.
wow.
So yeah, so I knew it's gonna take. I was warned it's gonna take years. So I decided after like several months, I was able to get on better medication to help me with some of my issues. So I was able to get on blood pressure medication because I have hypertension,
Hmm.
and I was able to get some. I got diagnosed with ADHD.
Okay.
So after I started medication for it, I started noticing I was able to focus more for the
Okay.
first time in my life. I was to the point that I was able to focus and start a business. So yeah, like no joke. Like a month later, I started my business because I was
Okay.
like, I need to make money. One of my friends was like, "Have you thought about selling stickers and pins?" I was just like, "Your art is pretty good." I was
Oh.
just like, "Yeah," one of my close friends. And I was like, "Okay, let me." And then he gave me like a template of stuff to like, I'll need for my business. He helped me give me ideas for like a name, how to set up like create a logo, what I need to like branding. He helped me find a manufacturer that I could use, you know.
Yeah.
So I started working on like pins. Um, they were very simple pins at first, like it's very small, like simple pins,
Right.
but they were cute. But people really liked them. Um, back then I did back then I was relying on mutual aid to
Hmm.
survive because I couldn't work and I ran out of my EI and my EI sickness, but
Right.
employment insurance. Um, so I was just like, I need to make money, survive, and this benefit's gonna take years. So then I was like, okay, let me sell. I didn't want to rely on just getting money from people for
Hmm.
through donations. I'm very motivated and like I like to. I actually generally enjoy working.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me do something to try and make some money, survive, while I'm going through this disability process and trying to figure out my health issues.
Hmm.
So I started selling pins and stickers, and then like my pins were very simple. Like it wasn't like a big deal at the time at the beginning. Um, but let's see, I started exploring a lot of things. So I started learning to like do resin, 3D printing. So I'll make like plant pots. I'll
Right.
make like earrings out of resin. Let's see what I try. I make candles and soap. I was just trying to. I was trying to find. At first, I was just trying to find something that stick
Right.
that worked for me, and like I was just exploring. And I was always someone that I like to learn new things and grow.
Absolutely.
And I just don't stop. I like do one thing that works.
Hmm.
So after like a year or two, um, let's see. After a year or two, I was going through a really hard time online, where I was getting harassed
Oh.
within the cosplay community. Um, Yeah, there were rumors about me faking being disabled for money.
Oh, that's that. I hate when
Yeah,
people try to justify. Like, obviously, like if people are legitimately doing that, like, good, call them out on that. But like, not everyone that's disabled is faking it. You know?
yeah. Honestly, I tell people not to call people out anyways because
Yeah.
there's the chance that they're actually disabled.
You're right.
Yeah, like some people don't even know that they're disabled and they are. So it's a tricky thing.
Yeah.
Like for me, I think a lot of people had trouble adjusting to me changing
Mm-hmm.
because I used to be very able-bodied. Like I used to be able to do way more things.
Right.
But my health kind of like deteriorated over like 5 years really fast.
Yeah, but I'll say, believe it or not, the human body, whether with or without disability, is not gonna say in the same way as a person gets older, as time it moves on more than anything
Exactly.
else.
Everyone becomes disabled or they die.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it happens. And I had to deal with like the mental health stuff
Mm-hmm.
because like, it was a very difficult change for me. So I
Right.
wasn't in a good place mentally. And yeah, so it was very tough for me at the time because I lost my support system. Because all the cosplay friends I had, most of them kind of like turned their backs on me. And and guess when that call out post happened? The week of my foot surgery, major foot surgery.
Oh, are you kidding me? Of all the
Yeah,
times.
I almost didn't. I almost couldn't have that surgery because my blood pressure was too high from the stress. Almost didn't. Yeah. Thankfully, I was able to like okay, I told myself to calm down, just push everything away and
Right.
focus on my surgery.
Right.
People were mad at me because they were like, "Oh, why didn't you respond to this call post fast?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm having surgery. This was
Yeah.
planned like months ago.
Yeah.
This was planned 3 months ago." So
Yeah.
I'm just like,
This isn't some spur of the moment thing, all right? Like I'm sorry that you guys seem to have this thing where it's hard for you to process what's going on.
yeah. They were like, "Your body accountability." I'm like, I am literally having surgery to save my life.
Yeah.
People don't realize, even though it was foot surgery, my foot hurt so badly that mentally I didn't want to exist.
Yeah,
So
I can only imagine.
yeah, because my foot was fully deformed,
Oh.
like to the left. Like my big toe was like to the left and like crooked. It was really bad. It was extremely painful. Every step hurt. Every
Yeah.
step hurt, literally. So yeah. So I had the surgery. I was so during that time I was stuck in bed for like two. I couldn't walk for 2 months
Mhm.
on my foot. So I was using like an e-scooter. And during that time, I was mostly in bed because I couldn't walk. So it was just me, my sketchbook, in bed,
Mhm.
and I didn't really have any distractions really because most of my friends weren't talking to me
Right.
because of the drama, and so I was just like, you know what? Let me just take time to create stuff.
Mhm.
So I was obviously in a lot of pain, which is when I made my paint skill, designed my paint skill sliding pins.
Right.
That was the
Yeah.
first one I made. That was the first one I made because I was like, doctors would always ask me all the time, "Oh, what kind of what's your pain level at from 1 to 10, you know?"
Right.
And I'll always be like 10, and they never believe me. So I was like, let me make a pain scalpin just to mess with them. And then I was like, you know what? Let me add anxiety. Let me add overstimulation. And it just kept going.
Yeah, you did yeah, obviously anxiety, the actual pain, the one that I have, fucks given or
Yeah,
whatnot.
that was for fun.
Oh no,
Yeah,
like I could completely understand. I don't think anyone would like the other ones people would take seriously because it's for legitimate things. This is just a
yeah.
fun one. This is always gonna be a fun one no matter what.
Yeah, I wanted to do something fun.
Yeah.
I like I feel like when I make things, I want to make things that improve people's lives, make them laugh,
Mm-hmm.
like something that's fun, that makes them uplift them.
Yeah, and also I just want to say, like, little sidetrack, because I thought about this, and I think the audience should at least know or whatnot. Like, I imagine they're probably hearing all these different stories when it comes to like health issues and dealing with disability and stuff like that. You know, and they're probably thinking, "Oh, great, the American system or whatnot." You're based out of Canada, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. I'm Canadian. Yeah,
Yeah, so like this isn't just like an American thing dealing with the health system down here. There's a lot of places where disability is not exactly the easiest thing in the world. All right, like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and
It's tough.
yeah, it's tough, and to go basically go from that, from dealing with all that pain and pressure, both physically and mentally, to here
Yeah,
you are, like being able to bounce back from it in one form or fashion, and like pursue this like fun business thing that like also again has that cool like functional thing, because like I said, again, as much as I laugh about having the fucks given and sliding it from a 0 to 10 or whatnot, like
yeah,
having the legitimate one of like how anxious you are and being able to slide that so that person can know it, like how they can approach a person, or like, you know, again, like you're talking about like the amount of pain so that people could probably understand a little better instead of asking that question or whatnot, like on top of it looking good, because it's a really good design in the first place, like legitimately,
oh, thank
like
you.
it's very aesthetically pleasing, the colors are well, I appreciate the fact that like each of these colors at the bottom or whatnot is, you know, ascending from the blue and the green, like the nice cool colors, so obviously the more
Yeah,
intense like red, like, hey, I'm in a lot of pain, or I have, you know, all, you know, how intense it is more than anything else, like
yeah.
I can only imagine the amount of time and effort that goes into designing some of these pins, whether it be like some of the small pins and the stickers back in the day to here you are right now with, again, all these different like sliding stuff. Like, what's the process like for you when it comes to like designing merch in the first place?
Like a lot of times, like I sit down and like I just draw them. and
Okay.
like let my idea flow. Like I have lots of great ideas,
I
No,
can tell.
but not enough time to do them all and
Right.
money. But so like ideas just come to me, and I'm like, oh, let me do this. This would be a great idea. Oh, this is a great design. Or
Hmm.
like I just when I feel inspired, I just go and do it. I
Absolutely.
just draw it.
And I'm so glad that you came up with, especially like the sliding pins, because I can imagine. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but like, especially
Yeah.
starting out with like the small pins, like yeah, good bit of success. But you gotta tell me, like, you got like, correct me if I'm wrong. Was the sliding pins where it kind of went from like a fun little cute hobby that made a little extra cash to a real money making venture? Like, was the sliding pins the
Yes.
catalyst?
Yes, it did. It allowed me to invest money into back into other things I wanted to make.
Okay.
Like when I got this when Side Business took off,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the money I made from it, I reinvested it back into my business
Nice.
initially. So that's where I started selling compression gloves and wrist braces
Right.
and some other items that I'm pretty well known for now. So yeah, it was a smart decision to like make those.
Yeah.
Um, and thanks to like just the money from like sliding pins was enough to pay for a down payment for my house.
Oh my God, that is. I'm applauding that one. That's really cool more than anything else. The fact that, again, something that seems so simple but yet is so fun to do. Again, with the nice, again, like I shall showcase to the people at home the fun little sliding mechanic that comes with this thing to really showcase. It's not just stuck at 10 because I left because it's stuck there. I
Yeah,
legitimately left it there. But like something as
yeah,
simple as a sliding thing was able to put a down payment for your house. If that's not a success story, I don't know what is. Like that's really
yeah,
great to hear.
yeah. I went from like being broke to like having like housing stability.
Yeah.
Cause
And
like, cause that's a big deal for me. Cause like here in Canada, we don't have the ADA or any of like the disability like rights.
mhm.
So where I was living wasn't accessible for me at the time, and was not a great environment.
Mhm.
So being able to buy my own place meant that I had stability. Like I own this place. I don't have to like move.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to worry about rent going up. And I bought it. And then I bought it at a time where it was actually cheaper, slightly cheaper to buy to like the mortgage than
Mhm.
to like pay for rent.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I was very lucky in many ways,
Oh yeah.
but I also want to make it clear that I don't have any family support, so I
Right.
did this all on my own.
Right. I mean, like, especially considering the fact that hearing more or less like like you said, like this was more or less a hobby for you. I imagine your like you said, your family was more probably more appreciative whenever you're going into the computer sciences path than going down the art
Yeah,
path more than anything else.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
And to hear that you've been able to make it into a business of your own, and again, the sliding pins definitely helped a lot, but it's not like you said, you didn't just stop at the sliding pins. You've added so
yeah,
much incredible merch and incredible like just fashion statements more than anything else. Like for example,
yeah,
on the true fashionate side or whatnot, I love the bags that you have on the shop that you have, or like little purses
oh,
or
thank
whatnot.
you.
Like those are absolutely amazing. They're cute, and it's not like the more standard ones that you kind of see, because obviously you can look at the higher name brands when it comes to like Balenciaga or Gucci and all stuff like that,
Yeah,
and they have their designs. But like sometimes it's nice to just have a cute design that has like little bat wings or something like that on there, you know.
yeah, yeah,
um, and then on the flip
and
side, oh sorry, go on. You go on.
I was gonna mention they also have like hooks so you can hook them up to wheelchairs and stuff.
Exactly. That was going to lead to the other point that I had. Like I mentioned in kind of the intro and whatnot. It's not just the fact that this stuff is very again cute and fashionable, but it's very functional as well. Like I imagine that was a major emphasis when it came to this business. Once you were
Yeah,
able to get past the point of just selling like pins and the art aspect, like once you were able to really reinvest back into it, like when did you start really making like the functionality aspect of it like a major aspect of your business?
um, I think like functionality. It was right after the pins blew
Mm-hmm.
up. I was like, okay, like initially when I started my business, I was like, oh, I want to make cosplay stuff, because I was making cosplay props, I was
Right.
making accessories and stuff. But then when the old thing from the cosplay community happened, I was just like, you know what? Let me dive in more into the disability community.
Mm-hmm.
Let me like, because I was like becoming more and more disabled. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, everything's ugly, like
Yeah.
beige or medical blue. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what? I can make something better, cheaper, and it looks nicer.
Yeah, because I think
And I did that.
because I imagine like when it comes to the medical community aspect of it, they're focused less on fashionable and more of like how will this help a person who's going to be wearing this. Like fashion is
Yeah.
not their top priority more than anything else.
Yeah.
And like for you, while it's not the top priority when it comes to pushing out a product like this,
Yeah.
it's at least like top three at least more than anything else of like,
Yeah.
hey, I want a person to be able to wear this, feel comfortable, and also look good doing it.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say like especially like for example like the knee braces alone. Like I saw some of those and like the Galaxy one. Like it's a very simple design, but it
Yeah.
does a lot when it comes to like letting a person truly express themselves while also feeling some relief that they could have when dealing with stuff like
Yeah.
that. Um,
Exactly.
or like you said, like the compression gloves or whatnot. Having the different designs or like there was one in particular that I saw that looks like witches gloves more than anything else. Or
The
prep, or I could be wrong on
maybe he
that.
had bats. Maybe he had like bats. Or oh, the one with like lace on it.
Yes, the one with lace
Like
on it or whatnot.
yeah, it's very like goth Lolita style.
Exactly. I mean, I can only imagine for you, like, it's gotta be so like rewarding at the end of the day to like have this kind of cool functional stuff, and people like also taking the opportunity to take it. To buy this stuff and not only just like feel more comfortable with themselves, but be able to do
Yeah.
it without like compromising on whether or not it actually helps them.
Exactly. People told me that like just because it looks nice, they end up using their aids more,
Mm-hmm.
and because they're using it more, they feel much better, and they're
Exactly.
actually their health is actually improving, and that makes me so happy to hear.
That is honestly like really cool to hear at the end of the day. And I mean, like, we talked about like the gloves stuff like that. I know one of the newest ones that at the time that we're recording you've been teasing, and one I definitely want to see like whenever it comes to fruition is you're thinking about investing in canes now and making that like a more
Yeah.
fashionable statement. Like,
Yeah.
like I have to ask, like, at what point did you realize, oh wait, I could do something with canes?
Okay, so I've been thinking about doing that for like 2 years now.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah, so I've been doing research into them. Like,
okay,
but I've been buying different canes. I use canes myself.
right,
So I was like, okay, what makes a good cane? You know? Okay, candle weight, like like make sure it has good grip, you
mm-hmm,
know? So maybe it can stand on its own. Maybe it's durable. You can use it in the rain or snow.
right,
Like the grip, make sure it's actually comfortable. You know, like there's so many things that makes a cane good.
yeah.
I make sure like durability is very important.
Well, I was gonna say like it's one thing to just have a cane. Like for example, hold on, so I'm gonna start by saying I don't have a need for this cane. I found this at like a storage facility. Like I guess someone was cleaning out like a storage facility. But I've had this cane for like years or whatnot. But this is not exactly one that could functionally work for everyone. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I like the look of this one because it has like these nice little like ridges and like designs in it, so it's like somewhat
Yeah.
fashionable. But you can also see like where some of the paint is coming off, so it looks like it was like pink beforehand before someone just painted over it black or whatnot, or something
Oh,
like
cool.
that. Um,
Yeah.
but like just because this looks good doesn't mean that it's functional more than anything else.
Yeah.
I think I got this because I got this and then when I went to college for filmmaking or whatnot, I thought I could potentially use this as like a prop for like a film that I was doing or whatnot. Never got the opportunity to use it, unfortunately. But at the same time, like again, it's one thing to have a cane that looks good. It's another thing to
Yeah.
have a cane that looks good and is functional as well. And I think that's the thing
Yes.
that I love and appreciate, at least like the mock-ups for the cane that I've been able to see so far, because it looks like one of the ones that you could easily get from a hospital, like if the opportunity comes and you really need one.
Yeah.
While also looking like something that I could see for someone that's walking around like a convention center or something like that, you know?
Exactly. I think one of the best things about like having like aids that look nice is that people don't harass you about them.
Exactly. I was gonna say
Yeah,
like,
they don't.
oh sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, no, keep going.
Well, I mean, like for example, a few weeks ago, I just got back from MomoCon in Atlanta.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I love it. It was my second year going or whatnot. But like, it's so cool to see how some people are able to like hide some of their not really hide but like with their disabilities, I should say, work with their disabilities to create like cool cosplays and such or whatnot. And
Yeah.
it's usually like for example, like people in wheelchairs, like whether it be the simple one as playing as Professor X or like doing something above and beyond like being SpongeBob in like the Boatmobile or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool to see how people are creative with the cosplays and what you're providing as well is a good way to help them get that one step further, not just for the cosplay aspect, but just real life. Because like, who doesn't want like a nice, like, what there are, I know there's at least a good handful of people that would love to walk around with that one cane that has the spiders all over it, because who is not like a Halloween fan more than anything else, you know? Or
Yeah.
or like, you know, the galactic one that I saw, or like the, you know, the Starlight one or whatnot. Like that is a stunning, like, obviously it's the same ones you got for like the knee brace or whatnot, but it's a stunning design.
Yeah.
It's easy, it's
Yeah.
simple, but like, you know, again, it not only is cool and functional, but like it looks cool, it looks great. Like I could see someone,
Thank you.
I could see that as like, you know, like I could easily see someone in like a movie like wanting to use that in particular as like a prop, not just like, you know, a
Yeah.
functional thing. Like it I can only imagine, like, especially seeing the amount of people that showcase that love for like designs for like this, and especially seeing like the cool functionality about it. Like it's got to be really cool and really relieving for you to have these opportunities where people are look at this stuff and be like, I not only want that, I need that, and it works that you're helping me want something that I need.
Yeah. It's awesome. Like that's one of the reasons I keep making new things. I
Yeah.
do listen to like a lot of times people ask me for things, and
Mhm.
like I don't always do it, at least initially, especially. But even now, people ask me, I'll be like, okay, let me think about this. You
Yeah.
know, and most people are nice about it. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
so once in a while, people are mean, but like, but I have to explain to them, hey, I have limitations. I'm a small business. You know, it's hard for me
Right.
to get capital, especially when you're black. So it's hard to
Yeah.
get like capital to grow your business. So you have to really prove yourself, like work twice as hard just to get the same
Yeah.
as
And
others.
as cool as it would be to have like you know, for you as a business to be able to have the rights to does like add cool wraps or something like that to like motorize, you know, wheelchairs or whatnot, you can't exactly
Yeah.
invest that right off the bat, you know?
Oh yeah, no. For those you need a license anyways.
Exactly.
And super expensive.
Oh, I can only imagine. As you as you just established right there, that's not something you can exactly walk up to a company and be like, "Hey, so we're gonna do this now." No, that takes a lot of time and research to figure out how exactly you're able to
Yeah.
do that. Um,
Exactly. Yeah. Like honestly, someday I want to have like my own cuz I work from home
right?
right now. That's actually part of the reason I bought a house because it was cheaper to get a house than to have a
Like
small apartment and like a storage
right.
units, you know?
You can have
So I
two
was
in
just
one.
basically, yeah. So it's technically kind of like a business expense,
Absolutely.
partially.
Plus,
So
plus, I also gotta say, like, especially with the designs, I appreciate, like, I imagine it. There's also a good bit of time and effort that goes into the actual design itself to make sure it
yes,
doesn't look like, you know, jagged and ugly at the end of the day. Like, it looks like
yeah,
functional and fluid at the end of the day.
yeah. Often I go through multiple samples,
Mm-hmm.
prototypes before they get it right. A lot of them want to do like the laziest, like the easiest design,
Right.
but they tend to struggle to do the galaxy design properly. So a lot of times I have to like get them to I have to push them, to do like 2 or 3 times to get
Right.
until they get it right.
Goodness. Like, I can only like hearing that alone really tells me how much this business means to you, not just as someone that, hey, this is my income or whatnot, but also as someone that, you know, appreciates like their work in general and wants to make sure that everyone is able to have like a really satisfying product at the end of the day. Because like there's a lot of companies out there, especially a lot of bigger companies that'll just go with the
Yeah,
lazy route. I mean, that's why you started the business in the first place, because a lot of the stuff, especially in the medical field or whatnot, you know, they
yeah,
just go with, like you said, like the lazy medical blue or the beige or gray or whatnot, and then just toss it out there because they know people are going to need it. So you might as well just do the bare minimum and get the most profit out of it. But like for you,
yeah.
the fact that you care enough that you want to make sure that it looks good at the end of the day really speaks a lot of volumes.
Yeah, I also like the good thing about making custom products
Mm-hmm.
for my business is that I get to choose the material.
Right.
So I can choose a better material than what people usually use.
Mm-hmm.
And it costs a bit more, but
Right.
it's worth it because it means it lasts longer, it looks nicer, it feels nicer. Because I
Yes.
do care about how things feel.
Oh
Because a
yeah.
lot of people, like a lot of my customers are autistic or have other medical issues too.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so it's very important. It's even extra important that it feels nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, as someone that you yourself has to, you know, use some of these products as well, like, you know,
Yeah,
I can imagine that, you know, you don't want them to like feel awkward when you're putting on like the knee brace whenever you need it, or you want to make sure that the cane is
yeah,
able to hold up whenever you're using a walking stick more than anything else.
yeah. I test my own products.
Oh yeah.
So like, so yeah, so I also know what to look for because I mentioned like when I used to cosplay, I cosplayed for many years.
Mm-hmm.
I read lots of storybooks, watched a lot of YouTube videos, so I know a lot about constructions and like how to sew things properly. So I should give feedback to like my manufacturers. I
Okay.
always make a sample and be like, hey, you can do this better. This can be sewn better. This can be done. Make
Right.
the sims like better. Like I'm able to give them feedback.
Absolutely. It does leave me curious as well, because I imagine you've probably tinkered with a lot of designs, dealt with a lot of
Yeah.
concepts or whatnot, wanted to do so many different things. Is there a particular piece of merch or a particular design that you've tried for years to make like a reality, but for one reason or another, like you just couldn't get it off the ground? Like it just didn't work the way you were hoping it would?
Mm, I would say no.
Okay.
I haven't had that problem yet. I'm stubborn, so I don't give up.
That's a good mentality to have, especially as a business person.
Yeah. I'm very much like I joke there's like the friendly me and there's like the business me where I'm like, okay, if they tell me like, oh, this can't be done, I'm like, okay, I'll find someone else.
Right. No, that
You
that's
know?
that's a good mentality to have, again, especially in the business world like that. As an independent owner yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to have that mentality of like, look, if you're not gonna get it done, I'll find a way to get it done.
Yeah. To be like, because when I start, like for example, my compression gloves
Mm-hmm.
in like really nice patterns, it took me a year to find a manufacturer for it
Oh wow.
because a lot of manufacturers were like, oh, they wanted to charge me too much for it,
Mm.
10 times more than it should be. And then they also wanted to like many of them laughed at me, saying that why would you want to make something fun and like colorful for like disabled people? I'm like, why not? I'm
Yeah.
disabled.
Like, why would you want something fun and colorful for disabled people? They're still people at the end of the day.
They're like, oh, it's a mythical item. It should be boring and ugly. They didn't say that. They didn't say it that way, but they
Right.
said it was should be boring. They said should be boring, and I was thinking to myself like, why should it be boring? Is it because that's always how it's done?
Right. Like, no, that's not how it should be done. Like, it should be like, let's, if nothing else, something that looks boring or whatnot and blunt, like, no, like, let's make it fun so that people actually want to wear this stuff instead of just like, God, I have to put this crap on. Let me go on with my day, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
I guess that leads me to the other edge of the coin. Then, if there isn't one that you've struggled with, I'm curious. There's got to be at least a favorite, because like there's a bunch of merch that you've been able to put out. There's been a bunch of items that you've been able to push out there. There's got to be one in particular that's like your absolute favorite.
Let's see. I'm looking around my place. I'm like all of it is my favorite. um,
It's like picking your favorite child, right?
yeah, exactly. You know, I would say my compression gloves.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Just with the like amount of time that it took to finally just get it right more than anything else.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And like I'm actually helps people too.
Okay, okay. No, honestly, like I'm glad to hear that. Like that, it's helped so much. Like especially having the fun
Yeah,
designs at the end of the day. I mean, it's a good
yeah,
mentality and statement, especially seeing how much you've been able to grow like with this business or whatnot. Because like you said, like you're a black disabled artist yourself, and it's really hard to
yeah,
really get out there. Black disabled artist business, owner, independent more than
yeah,
anything else. That's not really, like, not many people have that combination and it be a true success at the end of the day.
yeah,
The fact that you're able to do that and succeed to the point to where like this is the kind of stuff that you're able, this is your career. You don't have to go to a job where your health is at risk or whatnot. You're able to do this
yeah.
and still be comfortable at home. Like it's gotta be surreal. Like think at the end of the day that
It's
like this is your life.
yeah. Sometimes I'm always so grateful. Like, 'cause I tell my customers, like, hey, I'm super grateful for you guys supporting me.
Right.
Like, I wanna make things that are like that make you guys happy and feel better. Like, like if you read my reviews, a lot of people talk about how much like my stuff helps their pain
Mm-hmm.
and like how it helps them feel better about themselves. And that makes me really happy. Like when I'm having like a hard time, like with my health issues and stuff, I'm
Right.
struggling to like pack orders. It helps me knowing that I'm helping people.
Like I can only imagine, like on top of like the fact that you're able to, that's a good way to emphasize that, not only on top of being like a relatively successful businesswoman yourself, like the fact that you hear so much feedback from people that it legitimately helps these people. It's not just the fashion that
Yeah.
works, it's the functionality that is worked to a T. The fact that people are able to have these products and be able to function in life that they may not otherwise, while also like being able to have a little fun with their life. Like that's got to be the most rewarding part about this.
It is like it makes me so happy to know that my work helps people. That's why I want to keep making more and more things over the years. Like I
Absolutely.
have plans to grow my business. Like eventually, I want to have like a warehouse and have
Right.
employees, and like for example, this customer service and the packing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have an employee that handles that. Eventually in the next like 3 to 5 years. I would like to have my own like small warehouse where I can like have like so many things. Yeah, I have so many ideas
I
for how I
can.
want to grow my business.
I mean, I can only
Cause I
imagine.
want to, yeah, cause I realize I'm getting more and more disabled over time,
Right.
too. So I have to think about the future. Like, hey, I can't do this all alone myself anymore.
Right.
Like for long term. So I'm like, okay, I need to start thinking about what I'm gonna do. Plan the next like 3 to 5 years. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. Step by step.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that is always like, especially with how much you have been able to grow since you started this. Because correct me if I'm wrong, you started this company in July of 2020. Um,
Yeah, like June.
or sorry, June,
June.
July. I'm going off of the website if I remember correctly. So it's like June, July 2020. The fact that you've been
Yeah,
able to grow from that to it to here in relatively in like literally like 5 years, how much you've been able
yeah,
to grow is already impressive. And the fact that there's more opportunities to help people. There's more uh, aspects of disability that you can be able to help out with. I mean, you're doing canes. What's stopping you from doing walkers sometime within the next year or so? Once you get the cane stuff like worked out more than anything else.
yeah,
I mean, like that's that. But also, like you said, kind of like what we emphasized earlier. The body is not exactly your body is not exactly working alongside you, and it's not getting rougher and
yeah,
rougher, every single day. So, to be able to plan
yeah.
for the long term, it's smart, and I sincerely cannot wait for what's next, and hopefully there's a good bit of stability with what's next, because especially with how much you've been able to grow right now, I don't want this to just disappear in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I wanted to keep going and growing. I wanted to keep going past me.
Yeah,
That's my goal, you know?
absolutely.
So I think it's something that's going to be needed.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, with that, I mean, especially with what you have been able to do for it, with this
Yeah.
beautiful baby or whatnot, like taking a step back and thinking how much you've been able to grow as an artist from this being,
Yeah.
from falling in love with the animes and such, and then getting into this as more of a hobby to here you are right now, 5 years into this incredible business. Like thinking to your
Yes.
art journey as a whole, does it
Yeah.
amaze you more or less how far you've been able to develop as an artist and as a person?
Every day I'm like honestly every day I'm like surprised and shocked that I'm where I'm at cuz like several years ago when my disability got really bad,
Mm-hmm.
and I almost died, I felt like my future was over.
Right.
I felt like I felt like there was no future for me. Like I never thought I'll have a house at that point.
Right.
I never thought I'd have like two beautiful cats and like, and be comfortable. Cause like thanks to this business, I'm able to like have stability. I'm able to pay for my medical bills. You
Right.
know, like I wouldn't be alive without my business.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, cause like no job would allow me to go to my medical appointments all the time. Like I have like 2 to 3 medical appointments every week.
Okay.
During the day. So like a regular job would not let me take that much time off.
And now here you are, years later, being able to have enough to where you can cover at least a good chunk of those, bills and stuff
Yeah,
like that, and be able to
yeah,
get the help that you need to at least extend what could have probably been a much shorter life without the help.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
As a
Yeah,
it's fantastic to hear at the end of the day. Like I knew going into this chat this was gonna be a really emotional story, but by God, I just want to give you like the biggest hug possible if I can.
oh, that's so sweet.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if I may, for this next question though, how about we go a little bit above and beyond, if I may? Because BB,
Yeah, sure.
I want to give you more or less the dream scenario. Let's say I
Okay.
am Big Shot Mr. Moneybags. I come up to you and I'm like, look, BB, we have seen the incredible stuff you've been able to put out there. that like it looks absolutely stunning first and foremost, but also like seeing how much it's been able to help people. We know there's something here that you could do so much more with. Usually a little extra push, a little extra platform to get you to that point more than anything else.
Yeah.
We have access to everyone and anyone in whatever industry possible, and more money than it should be possible. We really should be probably investing that money back into disability to make sure that more people that are dealing with these struggles are able to live more with that and be able to live relatively healthy lives. We'll focus on them in a little bit. We promise we will. That like we have the money for it. We will help them. But right now we want to focus on you and you alone. If given this opportunity, what would be the dream Bibi project?
Oh, I would love to like have like a company where I can like make wheelchairs
There you
and
go.
rollators and like other disability aids like bath chairs, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Imagine having like a blinked out bath chair,
Oh my
you know?
god, that would be, or like imagine if you get the company point to the point where you're able to get like merchandising or like what's the word I'm looking for, like copyrighted properties to
Yeah.
be able to merchandise
Yeah.
with your company or whatnot. Like, can you imagine
Yeah.
someone having a Sailor Moon bath chair?
Yeah. You know, like you can always do magical girl stuff, like
Yeah.
as long as it's vague, you can still do it.
Well, yeah, yeah, that makes sense. But
But
like,
like an official product, yeah. It'd be cool to have like Hello Kitty, Sailor Moon, you
yeah,
know, like all the popular like, you know, companies and brands
yeah,
collab. One thing I want to do in the future right now is like collab with like friends to like
right.
add more designs to my store. So I have some friends who are artists who are very talented, and I would love to collab with them to bring more variety to my business.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's something I want to do more.
Especially out there in today's art world, there is no lack of artists to help make that a reality more than anything else.
Exactly. I would love to hire like some people. Like one of my goals is like if I had all the money in the world, I would hire people. So I would hire so many artists and people to pack, customer service, and all that. I
Mm-hmm.
want them to have I want them to have good medical benefits. I want them to get all the accessibility they
Right.
need. I want them to have to be paid properly. I want them to have time off. You know, I want to do like a 4 day week kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 4 day work day, 4 day, yeah,
Yeah, 4 day
a week.
workday.
Yeah,
Yeah, like four
yeah.
days, 10 hours a day to get the standard 40 that they need and enjoy a nice 3 day weekend.
Not even 10 hours.
Oh,
Like
not even ten
I was
hours.
still do.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because I don't think anyone can work effectively for 10 hours.
Okay. You know what? That's look. Trust me, as someone that is working at the time that I'm recording, currently working 11 hour work days, 5 days a week. Yeah, no, it's not as beautiful as they make it out to be.
Yeah,
uh,
honestly, like I value efficiency more than like time.
yes.
So if you get the work done, you can leave early. I'm the kind of person like don't just doodle around, do nothing. Like just go home.
Exactly. There we go. No, that's honestly a good mentality to have. And honestly, like getting to that point would be incredible. And you know what? Like I said, as Mr.
Yeah,
Moneybags, boom, you got the full warehouse facility that is very, very handicap accessible, or
yeah,
disability accessible, so that everyone's be able to work in there. Anyone can be able to work in there and work efficiently in one form or fashion or whatnot. HR
yeah,
people, all these, customer service, all the different aspects. We got you covered. You let us know how you want to design it from the floor up. We got you.
yeah,
All right. Um,
yeah,
but sadly, we do need to get down from the dream scenario. We do gotta get back to reality, and I'll ask the
yeah.
ever so the ever so frequent question, or the ever what's the word I'm looking for? Dang it! I'll ask this every single episode. By for some reason today, I'm forgetting the word. But either way, I'll ask the same old stereotypical question or whatnot. Where do you hope to see yourself in, say, 5 to 10 years?
Um, I would love to like have a warehouse or like a business, like who knows, like where I have employees, like
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned earlier. Um, I would love to like focus mostly on doing the art,
Right.
you know, and talking to manufacturers at times. But I want to be able to offload more of the work, like the customer service, the the warehousing like stock, you know, and like organization stuff to like someone else. I want to spend more time drawing and designing and creating.
Okay.
And I would love to be like 5 years time. Honestly, I want to be semi-retired by the time I'm 50.
There you go. That's a good thing to always aspire for more than anything, especially in today's society. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I want to do mostly like art because I enjoyed the art part and the designing aspect
there you go. There you go.
the most.
Absolutely. As we start to wind down the interview, I just got one last question I want to ask. Obviously, you are deeply entrenched in art in one form or fashion at this point. Whether it be
Yeah,
the fun cosplays that you get the opportunity to dress up and design and do, or this incredible
yeah,
business that you're able to both creatively, but also creatively help people in one form or fashion.
yeah.
How important is art, not just for you, but for the world as a whole?
I think art is incredibly important. It heals the soul.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way to bring individual, like make you feel like an individual and be like unique. It's a way to be creative. It's a way to show the world like, hey, this is who I am.
Right.
You know, it is so important to like the soul in your heart. Like you need it. It can help you overcome a lot of things. Like especially when you're going through disability. Like art heals. It can be an escape. It can make that pain in your hand feel less painful. It can make you feel like, it releases like good like feelings, and that can help make things more bearable.
Absolutely. I think that is fantastically worded, if I do say so myself. Um,
Yeah.
BB, that is all the questions I have for you. I've already showered you with Lord knows how much praise at this point, but I'm going to shower you with a little bit
Oh,
more.
thank you.
But I'm going to do a little bit more because it's my podcast. I do what I want. Um, Look, like I said, especially when I first saw some of these fantastic designs on just
Y-
Throne more than anything else. Ever since I first
yeah.
saw this incredible stuff, I have been a fan of what you've been able to do, and to see all the different ways that, like, especially something as simple as a pin can really help make someone's life a little bit easier. But ever since I first discovered the pins, really being able to deep dive into the stuff that you also have to help people in so many forms of fashion. Like, I've loved and
Yeah.
admired and have always wanted to show that love and support for your business in the first place.
Oh,
Um, Being able to sit down and chat with you today and see just how much, like, this stuff not only helps the people that you're helping out, but helps yourself, especially again as a black, queer, disabled, artist, businesswoman. Like, it's really, business person, it's really not easy to be able to go out there into this world and really project that kind of stuff and really, like, go out there and put this
yeah.
stuff out there in the world. It's never easy. As someone that has their own merch shop off of fourthwall.com, granted, but
Yeah.
someone that has their own merch shop that doesn't really sell a whole lot of merch in the first place or whatnot, I know how hard it is to sell merch in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
But especially seeing the creative aspects that you've been able to really push out there, and seeing how again how creative but also how functional really got you to this point right now to where you're able to explore a lot more and not just provide incredible quality designs but incredible quality products that help so many incredible people. Like, I at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of love and respect for what you do, and
Oh, thank you.
that's why every single opportunity I get to see some of your stuff, and especially see you, like, try to promote your stuff, I'm gonna be, like, shouting it from the top of every single rooftop that I
Oh, thank
can,
you.
because, like, legitimately, like, both as a person, as a business person, like, it's
Yeah.
really impressive to see how much you've been able to grow and how much time and love and dedication you've put into this kind of stuff. And I sincerely hope that this company, which may be relatively small speaking right now, but, like,
Yeah.
I sincerely hope that you get that opportunity to grow to the point to where, again, this thing gets to live beyond you, and so many other people get to have both the fun, fashionable, but also, like, the actual benefits that a lot of your products are able to put out there in the world. Like, I'm excited for whatever's going to be happening next with you, and
Yeah.
just know that no matter what, I am going to be rooting for you every single step of the
Oh,
way.
thank you. I
Um,
appreciate it so much.
the long and the
I
sh-
should mention. I should. Oh, sorry. I should mention like one thing I also really love about my business is that it allows me to like give back to the community through
yeah.
mutual aid events. I forgot to mention that because I do a lot. I'm very much involved in mutual aid.
Mm-hmm.
Because like that saved my life when I had like no money,
Right.
and like, I was broke because I couldn't work because of my health issues and stuff.
Right.
And like so I often donate money anonymously to people, but I also give gift cards for my business
There you go.
to like people who need it, and I also give it to like streamers as like prizes for
Oh.
the mutual aid events. I do that all the time, like almost every week.
I was gonna say, so I'll go ahead and sneak this in here, and hopefully he'll be watching. There's one person in particular that I think would absolutely love, especially if you get the chance to make the canes like an actual thing. There's one streamer in
Yeah.
particular that I know. The guy's name is Eldritch Grandpa V2, or he's a VTuber, Eldritch Grandpa. I don't know if you've seen him before or whatnot, but like he is a legit trans man from Texas who's like 30 years old, but like he has a lot of like disability, like health issues as well. I know that
Oh, cool.
he also needs a cane or whatnot, but he is a fantastic person that shows a lot of love and support back to just artists and VTubers in the community in general and whatnot. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, when I was doing like my research to prepare for this or whatnot, I saw that he was following you on at least like Twitter or whatnot. So I know he knows your stuff. So
Oh, cool.
hopefully he sees this episode, know that I'm giving him a big old shout out when it comes to this because he's a fantastic person on his own accord. But well, I was gonna say the long and the short of it, on top of like that mutual aid or whatnot, which is again another incredible thing that I love to hear. The fact that you're able to give so much back to the community. The long and the short of it is, thank you for what you do. Thank you for putting yourself out there because again,
Aw.
I know it's not easy, especially in your condition, to really do that. And to see you
Yeah.
succeed, to survive and thrive at this point is incredible. And I
Yeah.
cannot wait to see how far both you and this business is able to go thanks to it. So thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. I appreciate it because like it can be hard sometimes, especially some because I do deal with a lot of harassment,
Yeah.
like a lot that others do not deal with. I know for a fact. Because I ask my friends who have businesses too. They're like, we don't deal with any of this. And
Right.
I'm like, and I have to like endure all of this while still being creative. And people don't always, even just talking about it sometimes, get people upset. They don't want to hear about it. But I'm like, this is my reality. This
Yeah.
is why, this is the obstacles I face.
Yeah.
It's important to recognize that.
Yeah. It's no one said dealing with disability was easy, and if they are, they're lying to you, or they just don't know because they don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, I'm very transparent because I know like I take more time to pack stuff and
Right.
to ship them out. So I'm transparent. Hey, I am disabled. It might take me like 2 weeks to like do this.
Yeah.
You know,
Plus,
like
plus in certain places, like for example, America, where I'm from right now or whatnot, things are getting a little bit harder for stuff to be shipped internationally. Just saying. So.
exactly, yeah. So like I try to be transparent and let people know, hey, this is gonna be late for like a week. This is gonna take more time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm having surgery. I'm gonna take a month off
Yeah.
because I do have surgery here and there sometimes. And
Absolutely.
I'm so grateful for people being so understanding of my situation
Oh yeah.
and loving my work. I really appreciate the support like with all my heart. And I hope to keep helping people.
Well, absolutely. Well, if people are wondering where they can show a little bit more of that love and support and wonder why I've been gushing about this incredible stuff for at least a good hour or so at this point, go ahead and plug your stuff for the people at home. Where can people find more about your incredible stuff?
So you can find my stuff at bibipins.com. So bibipins.com. I'm also available I'm on IG, Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
as bibipins. So bibipins. And I'm also on TikTok, same handle. I'm on Blue Sky and Twitter as BB Cosplays.
There you
So
go.
BIBICOPPLAYS. So it's hard to like spell things out.
Right, right, right. Look, I was gonna say, look, if you missed any of the links or you've misspelled anything, I'll have them in the description below. So people just gotta scroll down a little bit, open it up. There's a good old list of all the links you can go and show BB all that love and support. Um, and
Yeah.
and I highly recommend that you get some of these pins, not just the slider pin. Like I laugh about like the fucks given one, but there's legitimately a lot of really cool pins that BB has on that website. Like if you guys have not taken the opportunity to go and search it, like please do because it's really like again it's
Yeah.
fun, it's functional, and it's worth it at the end of the day. Um,
Yeah. If you want to know my favorite pin, it's the existential dread one.
yeah, thank you. That's a good one. That's a great one. Because I mean, like, especially in today's society, that's a very useful one.
It is. It's my favorite pin.
Goodness. Do you have any final words before we do sign off?
Sure. I am incredibly grateful for you to having me on here.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun conversation.
Yeah.
It brings back a lot of memories. Sometimes it's good to like remember things, like hey, where I started from. You
Right.
know, I really appreciate the growth and the effort to get here. I'm very grateful for all the support people have given me over the years, and will continue to give me over the years too. I'm grateful for my friends. You know, I'm grateful for my cats. We're very cute. I'm grateful for all the support I get, and like I really love giving back. So I
Absolutely.
do my best to give back whenever I can. So whether it's giving out N95 mask, giving out like money for like helping people out with the groceries, or
Hmm.
like gift cards to my store these days, like I help people how they want to be helped, and I do my best within my limits.
Well, there you go. And we are. I cannot speak for everyone, but I at least speak for me that I am very grateful that you are taking the opportunity to do this and make this a reality and helping so many people. Once again,
Yeah.
thank you for what you do.
Oh yeah, of course.
And with that, all I have left to say is for the people at home, if you can, please pay your artists.
Yeah.
Tell me what's wrong, tell me sparks in motion. Sing me a song, tell me your eyes can all open. Show me it all, pick me up in the car you drove when you used to call. Show me it all.
Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If this is your first time listening, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Like I said in the intro, just being able to talk to Bibi about the incredible stuff that they have dedicated themselves to, like it was an absolute blast. And Bibi, if you've gotten up to this point, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about this, and thank you for putting in the time and effort to put this stuff out there in the world. I mean, especially considering, as we talked about in the conversation, just all the struggles that Bibi has to deal with on their own. You know, dealing with their own disabilities, their own handicaps, their own stuff that makes it difficult for them to live day by day, and to still go forth and put forth this incredible bunch of products that help so many people not only get by day, but actually be able to enjoy and feel comfortable in the day by day. It's stuff like this that it warms my heart. I know. It seems easy for something like this to warm my heart, but like genuinely it does, because for a lot of people, they can be dealing with this kind of stuff, and all they're concerned about is just, hey, let's just get to the end of the day. Hey, let's just get to tomorrow. At that. But the fact that BB wants to go out there and like make that change, and like help more people feel included in the grand scheme of everything, like it's something that I'm so glad that there are people like BB out there, that someone like them is able to go forth and dedicate as much as they can and do as much as they can to really make this a thing. That's why I'm gonna support BB as much as I can. I'm gonna do whatever I can to get the word out there and let people know just about how incredible of a person that they are. Anytime I see people also trying to do the same thing, to genuinely help people, help out the community in one form or fashion, I'm always going to have their back. I think it goes without saying that things are really messed up in the world right now, at least at the time that we're recording. And, it's going to take a lot to make things easier for a lot of people. But any little bit that we're able to do, any little bit that we can, any little bit that I can to help make your guys' day just that tiny little bit better, I'm going to do what I can to help you guys out. Because I care about you. I care about people. I hope you guys can share that same sentiment and put that positivity back out there in the world. More than anything else, with everything that's going on, there's a lot of things that need to happen. But one of the biggest things that we definitely need in this world is positivity. So do what you can to put that back out there and help other people live their life to the fullest. Even if it's something as small as just acknowledging them, checking up on your friends and such, and saying, hey, I hope you're doing well, to maybe getting your friends opportunities that they may have never thought about otherwise, or providing them stuff that would really help them get through their days or whatnot. Any little bit that we could spread that positivity out there, let's do that.